Hello everyone joining sorry about that. Hello everyone joining the stream. We'll get started in just a couple of seconds. We'll just wait for the stream to get out there a bit. I didn't schedule the stream as I usually do. And yeah, a bit of a weird time to stream. I think I streamed around this time last night, maybe like an hour later, maybe an hour and a half later it might have been. But yeah, I'm not usually going to stream around now. I'm just sort of streaming for the sake of streaming, because usually I don't stream around a good time for Australians. Usually I stream like the worst possible time ever for Australians and even New Zealanders and stuff like that. Daras in the chat, just calm down a bit. I know you might be maybe a bit hyperactive. I don't know, you might have had something exciting for dessert or something, or even breakfast, depending on what time of the day it is where you are, but just maybe calm down the chat there a bit. But yeah, I'll take off the, here we go. So how are we going, guys? Hopefully everyone's having a good day or night, depending where you are. Yeah, I think yesterday I was about 2. I think I started it at 9 o'clock my time, so about an hour and a half later, I think it was. But yeah, this won't be a big turnout. I know this is like a really bad time to stream. Just because, what do you call it? It's just like everyone's asleep, or it's really early morning, like people going to school. Like in England and Europe, people would be at school at the moment, or university, one of the two, or at work. Like it's really only good for like Australians and maybe parts of Asia, maybe I want to say. Yeah, I did link this in the Discord, so there might be some Discord people. If you do have a Discord and you want to join my Discord server, the link in the link to that is in the description below. If you want to go check that out. It's midnight here in the West. Oh, like California and stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be too late, would it? Yeah. I just know that in California they got all those mudslides going on and stuff like that. I saw it in the news and I was like, holy crap! Like you got the fires one month and then you got mudslides the next. One caused by extreme heat, well not extreme heat, but heat, and then one caused by rain. Like what the hell? Thanks everyone that's joined the chat. Thanks for the nice comments. 10:40 AM. Is that in parts of Europe? I want to say. It wouldn't be in Asia, would it? Asia's only about 5 hours behind or something. Yeah, early morning in probably what, the east coast of America and stuff. Just hello everyone join the chat. We'll wait another 2 minutes and I'll just go through the guidelines of the chat, or the stream might I say, just in case people like this might be their first time watching a stream. I know if you're in Australia, this might be the first time you're watching a stream, because usually I stream at really bad times for Australians. Oh. So how's everyone going? Everyone having a good day or good night, I guess? Yeah, we'll get into questions in a second, so maybe hold off to the questions for a second, just because I'll just wait another like minute and a half, and then I'll go through like the rules of the stream, if you want to call it that. $3 p.m. in... Where's that? Where's 3 p.m.? That'd be in like somewhere in Asia, maybe? Or is it like Perth or something? I don't know. No, Perth's in like 2 or 3 hours behind. Yeah, it's like early morning leading on to like middle of the day in England, isn't it? Yeah, I know, I'm hot. I've got like a fan on me. Hopefully you guys can't hear the fan. Hopefully the fan is isn't too loud. It shouldn't be. I think I've got on the lowest setting, so usually it shouldn't be too loud. So yeah, I'll just tell, this is gonna be I'd be surprised if we even reached 100 people in here, just because it's a really bad time to stream. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was going through the stream rules. So just keep the chat civil. I'll stream for about an hour, I want to say, give or take 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, so just keep the chat a bit civil. Like, you know, that should be self-explanatory. I don't really have to go too much into detail with that. Yeah, like cut out. Don't go with the emojis. Just come on that. If you want to follow me on social media and stuff, and the Discord and stuff, all that's in the description below. And obviously I'll answer questions and stuff, but if you want to help the channel and you get your question 100% answered, you can, oh, I've already got it written down there. You can always super chat, which is that little symbol down near the text box thing, what do you want to call it? Oh shit, I just hit the microphone stand. Hopefully that didn't make too loud of a noise. And that's the whiteboard. I don't think I'll be using the whiteboard much in this stream, but the whiteboard, if you've been to the streams before, is usually more popular than I am. Just let me get that in that slot it usually goes in. I was expecting flash. I've never been posters. I don't mess around with posters. I've never liked them. I don't know why. Oh yeah, so yeah, like yeah, just keep the chat civil. Like, don't overuse the emojis and stuff in the chat. Um, all my links and stuff to different things are in the description below if you want to go check them out if you haven't checked them out before. And if you want a super chat, that helps out the channel. Like, it's like donating essentially, but you'll get your question or comment 100% read out if you do that. And yeah, and you just do it near the text box. That's about it. So yeah, we may as well just kick off the stream. As I said, I'll stream for about an hour, give or take 5 or 10 minutes. Thanks everyone that's joined the chat. Who do you think is Caden James's son? I think literally no one. No one of any significance. I wouldn't count on it being like anyone we've seen before. Like, it's not going to be Roy Harper. If it's Roy Harper, I'd be like, well, why? Why do that? You know what I mean? Hello everyone that's still joined the chat. 9:43 in Iceland. Is it? Oh, is it? Yeah, it'd be cold in Iceland, wouldn't it? It's winter over there in Europe. Do you think any of the remaining bus members will join Team Flash? I don't think so. I think Team Flash is big enough. Like, we've already got Ralph there, which he is a bus metahuman. So probably not. They might be like, they might help, but I don't think they necessarily be a part of Team Flash, if that makes sense. Do I watch Riverdale? Yeah, I do. It's like, the way I describe Riverdale usually to people is it's like the best, worst show ever. Like, it's a really... The acting is really bad. The writing's like the acting is like, yeah, the writing's pretty bad. The acting is like really bad. It's just like the story as a whole, each season works. I don't know how it works. Like, everything about it's bad, but it ends up being really good at the same time. It's a really weird show. I don't know how they make it work, but they do. I think it's because they end every episode on like a cliffhanger almost. I think that's how it works, and it just makes you want to watch the next episode or see what happens. So yeah, I do watch it. But the reason I was actually going to do videos on my channel about it, but the reason I didn't is just because it's so inconsistent. It's just so like nonsensical a lot of the time. It just feels like they don't really focus too much on like the quality of the writing. Do you think they'll help Central City as individual heroes, but not on Team Flash? Well, that's the thing. I think if one of them was good and they were going to help, I think they would, be part of Team Flash. Like, they'd help, but they wouldn't be a part of Team Flash, if that makes sense at the same time. Like, they'd help, but they wouldn't be a part of Team Flash. Where else do you want the Legends to visit for anachronisms? I want them to visit current day. I want them to visit, 2018 now. Apparently one of the rumors is I might do a video on this in the next couple of days, because I'd rather get it over now, like the speculation around it, before the shows come back and there's heaps of videos to do. It's around a Flash crossover in episode 18. It's been rumored that there's going to be a crossover in episode 18 of this season, but it won't be with Supergirl. Like, they've ruled Supergirl out of it, so it's between Arrow and Legends, and I don't know really how it would work with Arrow unless they're going to do another villain, which got announced today, which is a Green Arrow villain in the comics, but they said she's going to be on The Flash. Her name's Hyrax. You can Google if you want to. Hyrax. You can look up her if you want to. She's a Green Arrow villain in the comics, but apparently she's getting casted for The Flash, so it could be a Flash Arrow crossover in that episode. But I would like it to be Legends. And what it is that the night before is Legends now. So it's Legends on where Supergirl usually is. And then it'll be, Flash the next night. So they could start on Legends and they go to the time when the Flash is. So 2018. And there's an anachronism in current day Central City, and that's what they have to deal with. So the Legends and the Flash work, and Team Flash work together. And that could possibly be how Wally West segments over to Legends and joins the Legends towards the end of the season. But I'll go more in depth in the video if I do make it. But that's like the premise of what I would go for a crossover with just Flash and Legends for this season. Because if you didn't know, like, Supergirl's on for 4 weeks, then it's stopping, and Legends is finishing off its season. So Legends will be on the day before Flash is on. So that crossover would work if they wanted to go down that path. I think that'd be pretty cool if you watch Legends and Flash. Like, if you didn't watch Legends and you watch Flash, you might be like, okay, what the hell's going on here? But if you watch both of them, it'd be pretty cool. What are your thoughts on the Teen Titans Go movie? I saw it. Like, it's obviously aimed for kids, but I think it'd still be like a lot of it'd be like almost like Lego Batman, but a bit more silly. So a lot of like little Easter eggs and references to the other DC properties, like poking fun of them, almost like breaking the fourth wall. Little things like that, or meta humor, might I say. So it's not like I'm dying to see it. I'll probably watch it on like direct when it comes out, or whatever you call it, like streaming and stuff like that. Don't necessarily know if I'll go to the movies to see it. I felt really awkward going to Lego Batman, to be completely honest, because it was me. It was just me and my friend, and I think just before the movie started, some older people came in. Like, thank God, because the rest of the cinema was just like one parent with like 7 kids. The whole like in like different groups. It was like really weird, and I felt really awkward. I was like, maybe we shouldn't have seen this movie at this time. But yeah, it felt really weird watching Lego Batman. So it might be. I think it'd be even worse watching Teen Titans Go, because it'd be the same audience, but they're expecting an even sillier movie. Well, yeah, it's a Cartoon Network show, isn't it? So they're sort of going for that Powerpuff Girls, like that sort of, and that the animation looks like that as well. So, how would you rate Legends 1 to 10? Like this season, probably like an 8.5, close to a 9. It was going. I think it's the best DC show this season easily. And if you watch it, you would know that. If you watch the other shows, you can compare it. You would know that. The biggest or the biggest speed bump it hit, and sort of like put a bit of a tarnish on the season so far, was the mid-season finale, which I didn't think was a good episode. I thought it was very average. Black Panther is coming on February 10. Is everyone going to see it? Yeah, I'll go see it. Is it February 10? Isn't it like the 13th or something? Might be wrong with that one. Maybe it's coming out a week late in Australia. I'm not too sure. Pretty sure it's the 13th or something. I watched a trailer for it when I went and saw a movie like a week ago. Black Panther was there. How do you super chat? You super chat by clicking. I'll drag my OBS over here. So it's this little symbol down here, and you click it and you go, and that's where you just drag up and you can type a message if it's $2 or more. So let me fix this stream up again. Do you think Julian will return at the end of the season to help Team Flash? Nah. I don't think. I think Julian's gone. I don't think Tom Felton will be returning to the show anytime. He could. I just don't think he will. Rate Arrow this season. Arrow's honestly like about a 6.5 to a 7. The thing that's hurting Arrow the most is its the FBI storyline and the Williams storyline. I saw like someone wrote me on Twitter before. I would bring it up, and it's like, I'm not gonna say who it was. But I just got like a lot of mentions from like one person tweeting me. They were replying to something I did like over 2 weeks ago, and I think it was like, oh yeah, which show's the best this season? And Flash was winning by ages, and then it was Legends. Then I think Supergirl and Arrow were tied, and then all the Olicity people like started spreading the poll and just voted Arrow. So Arrow ended up winning. It was really weird. I was like, that doesn't prove anything. I can tell that it's being essentially botted or like just spammed out to win. But this person went, I'd say Arrow is the best because the storylines are interesting besides the Black Siren one. So it's obviously an Olicity person that doesn't like the Black Siren storylines. And I was going to reply, I was like, are you sure about that? Like, are you sure the FBI one and the William one are that interesting? And even like the Dinah Drake storyline with Vigilante, which is terrible. So Arrow's got a lot of things it needs to drop or at least fix up. I think they need to, I don't necessarily mean drop the FBI, like just cut it out, like just wrap it up, like finish it as soon as possible. William, drop it. Send William off to boarding school or something. Say, introduce something into the show where he gets in like danger. And Oliver's like, well, maybe I should send him off to like somewhere like boarding school or something so he's not in danger in Star City. Simple. That's an easy 1 episode thing where they get rid of William. Cleans up a lot of, because it's really boring. It was interesting like the first couple of episodes, and then Felicity started getting involved. It's nothing against Felicity, but the writing was done there to make Felicity almost like a motherly figure, and they were using William as like a plot point for that. And it was really weird. So hopefully William's gone from the show when we are at least in the first couple of episodes. And hopefully the FBI storyline's gone, because I think Arrow has the most room to improve, and I feel they can because it's a simple thing to fix. Everything else apart from those storylines is interesting. They just need to get rid of them. So I think Arrow could actually end up being possibly the best, and that's a strong thing me saying that, but it possibly could be the best if they drop all that stuff. Like it could be season 5 good if they drop all that FBI. I don't know why they went with the FBI thing. It's a really, I would never go, if I was writing the show, I'd never go with that because it just screams boring. I would never do it. Maybe they should try spread the storyline apart, not just trying to force it into one storyline, into one season. Are you talking about which one is that about? It's Sin? Is that about the FBI one? FBI, I think they'd be able to spread it over because it's been like dabbled with in different seasons. Not necessarily the FBI being involved, but like Star City Police Department being involved. So that it's already been spread out a bit since like season 3, if not season 2. Got to go to class. Have a nice day. Thanks, Maury. Have I guess a nice day in class. I don't know if you can actually say have a nice day in class, but yeah. Do you think Kane Wilson will join Richard Dragon? Do you mean what's his name? Joe? Is it Joe? Joe Wilson? No, I don't think we'll see him again this season. I just don't think we will. I think that was just more of a... We could see him next season, though, but I don't think we'll see him this season. What do I think about the Black Lightning trailer? I've liked them so far. I'm excited to see what Black Lightning is actually about. People have already watched the first episode, like some like press people have already watched, and they said it's really good. They said there's like the only sort of thing that didn't work for them in the first episode was actually the guy that's going to be the big bad, but apparently it's just some of the dialogue he's given, because I think they just wanted to make it clear these are the big bad, and they just said it didn't really work that well. But apparently the rest of the episode is really cool. But I'll wait and see when I see it on Wednesday my time, Tuesday American time. In season 3, episode 1, Reverse Flash doesn't get stuck in the past. So is it impossible for season 1 to happen? Can you explain? Honestly, anything with Reverse Flash is just a bit... maybe trying to avoid it. Like, just don't dive too deep into it, just because it can be really confusing. Could August Hart ever become Barry's lab partner or take Barry's place if he gets fired from facing Crystal? Hold on. So let me click up. Could August Hart ever become Barry's lab partner or take Barry's place if he gets fired from facing Crystal? The thing is, if I think they ever do Godspeed, I don't think they'd actually make it August Hart, just because he'd stick out like a sore thumb. Or they'd change his name a bit. I think they'd change his name a bit. They might call him like something August, similar to how they went with Julian Albert, who's Albert Desmond. Like, there's their take on Albert Desmond from the comics, who is Dr. Alchemy. So they might call him like Jeff August or something like that, just so it hints to it, but it's not flat out saying this is going to be Godspeed. Do you know the way? That meme, I don't know if it's a bit overdone. I think it'd become a stale meme very, very quick, if it not already. But it's pretty funny. I don't have, obviously, that VR game. I've seen a lot of videos on it. But do you know the way? It's pretty funny. Do you know anything about the two-parter? Well, I actually have a video coming out about that in about... I don't know, like just over 12 hours from now. I'll actually be streaming again about 12 hours from now, just before that video comes out. But I have a video sort of around that. Not exactly on it, but based around it. Because there's been really no word on it. Like, there's been no casting for it. There's been no like set photos. There's been really nothing about it. I'm starting to think that they might actually not be doing a two-parter, which would be very disappointing, because it's been like a traditional thing every single season. So season 1 had it, season 2 had it, season 3 had it. Why would they stop in season 4? Everyone loves it when they do it. It'd be a way to bring in like Accelerated Man again if they wanted to, which a lot of people wanted to see. So they should be doing it. I'd just be disappointed if they didn't do it. Favorite Legends episode this season? Favorite Legends episode this season? I like the Halloween episode. I'd have to say the Halloween episode, but the let me look it up. I'm gonna have to, because off the top of my head I can't remember. Just let me type into Google Legends of Tomorrow season 3. Legends of Tomorrow season tray. Space. I can't even type. God damn it. Just wait for that to load, because for some reason my phone's very, very slow. Jesus Christ, I didn't mean to type that. I had to click that, sorry. Return of the Mac actually was good. So episode 4 or episode 5 were probably my favorites. Episode 5 was Return of the Mac, which is where like Damien Dark comes back to life. But episode 4 was really good, like the E.T. sort of inspired episode. Those two are very good. Like, I actually cried during Phone Home. Like, that was like a sad, because I cry during E.T. Whenever I watch E.T., I cry. And that moment was basically replicating E.T. Do you want to see Black Lightning with Flash? I just want to see Black Lightning play out properly before they connect it to any other show. Like, it's going to be in the Arrowverse. Like, a lot of people saying that trailer the other day confirms in the Arrowverse. It didn't. It's just promoting Black Lightning. That's, you know, it's coming out with these shows as well. There's no confirmation there, so yeah. I think that hopefully they're just at some point in season one, not at the beginning, let it play out for the first like half of the episodes, but just like I think it's going to be on Earth 38, Supergirl's Earth. I think that's what it's going to be on, just because I think it's the most logical Earth to put it on. If they're going to put it on an already established Earth, they could put him on its own Earth, like Earth 4 if they wanted to, but I don't think they will. They'll probably put him on an established Earth so he can work into crossovers. So I think Supergirl's Earth is the best one to go with, and just like sprinkle Catco, Daily Planet, Elcor, like Lena Luthor on the news, stuff like that. That's probably the best way they could go with to integrate Black Lightning into the Arrowverse. Do you watch episodes on TV or online? I stream them, so I can do my episode reviews, but then I record them on the Foxtel box so I can watch them again, and also so they get my viewership numbers as well. Even though in Australia it doesn't really go towards their viewership numbers, it still helps. How am I going to get the season pass for Black Lightning? It's on Netflix in Australia, I'm pretty sure. But definitely, like, I'm pretty sure they confirmed it. When is your crossover with DJ Eric coming up? That's this weekend, so not tomorrow. That's on... It's Sunday morning my time, but if you're in, like, Europe, it's probably, like, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. If you're in America, it's, like, 2 p.m. East Side and 11 a.m. West Side. And then if you're in Australia, it's Sunday morning. But that's Saturday for those countries. And then it's Sunday Australian time in the morning, like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Foxtel. Yeah, the DC shows are all on Foxtel, apart from Black Lightning, obviously. Krypton trailer thoughts. 8 a.m. Brazil. 8 a.m. Oh, okay. Krypton trailer thoughts. It was okay. I still have massive reservations about Krypton though. If it gets season 2, I'd be surprised. I just don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to appeal to a large audience. And I don't think, from what I've heard, Superman fans don't seem that excited about it. And this is a show that should be appealing to Superman fans. Like, Supergirl doesn't appeal to Superman fans. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's taken his character. So Superman fans, usually get triggered by what happens on Supergirl, because they'll take his villains and stuff like that and not do them as well as they should be done. Like, they're probably better done on Smallville. But, like, this show's, like, it should be catering to Superman fans. Like a lot of little Easter eggs and references and just little seeds planted for what usually happens in Superman mythology later on, and they don't seem to be that excited about it. So that really speaks 1,000 words or 1,000,000 words for what's going to happen with that show. It could survive. It could get a fan base. I'm just looking at it going, it looks okay, but like it could be better, like very much better. And it was also meant to be connected to the DCEU, and now it's not. So why say it in the first place? Like, that should have been cemented. Like a cemented thing that it was going to be connected to the DCEU, and now it's completely changed. And it's really awkward now because all like the sets and stuff look like they're trying to replicate Man of Steel, so it's a bit awkward now. Do you think Diggle will take on the Green Arrow mantle again or go back to Star? I think they already confirmed he's going to be Green Arrow again at some stage in the back half, but he's not going to be like Green Arrow all the time. Like, Oliver will still be Green Arrow at different points. It's just like Diggle will take up the mantle again, or at least use the suit from time to time. I think they're going to swap so Oliver isn't always in the Green Arrow suit because of that FBI storyline. What do you stream it on? A website. It's easy. Literally just type in like CW stream Google when it's on. Like, that's literally what you type into Google and you'll find a stream. RIP Arrow Season 6. If it doesn't fix certain things. I don't mind the Diggle thing. It's just like certain things like make the Diggle thing look even worse. Actually, I don't like it. Like I say, I don't... By me saying I don't mind, it makes it sound like I'm liking it. I don't like it. It just doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people. I just think it's annoying that he's been Green Arrow more this season than Oliver has. If it wasn't that way, then I think it wouldn't be too annoying. But Diggle's been Green Arrow more times than, Oliver has. Have you seen Unbreakable and / All Split, or have you just seen one? Sorry if I keep asking. Oh yeah, I have both movies on Blu-ray. I love both movies. I remember watching Split. Like, sorry if you haven't watched Split, but it's been out for ages. Actually, I don't have to spoil it, but I sort of am teasing it. Anyway, so I've watched Unbreakable. I think it's like one of the best like superhero movies ever made. And even though you don't think it's going to be a superhero movie. I remember sitting in the cinema watching Split, and I was like, okay, that was a really good movie. Okay, it's ending. Okay, what's this final scene? And then you see a certain character, and I was like, holy... I turned to the person I was sitting next to. They hadn't watched Unbreakable, and I was like, holy shit. And they're like, what? I was like, Oh, and I didn't know at that point that I hadn't seen Unbreakable because, you know, that conversation never would have come up because no one knew those two movies were connected. And I was like, oh my god, what the hell? And like, I literally said, oh shit out loud. I think it was holy shit. That's what I said. But I'm excited for Glass to come out. That'll be an interesting movie. Got a good cast as well. Samuel L. Jackson back in that universe. Do you think Booster Gold would make a good comic Legends character? Sorry, I mean there would be a good connection because he's Rip Son in the comics. Yeah, yeah, but I think you need Rip Hunter there the whole season for it to work. I think. Just like they could play it off like that. Neither of them know like who they are to each other. And that could be one of like the storylines for the season. But I think you'd need Thingo there. Did the stream drop out for a bit? Sorry if it did. Someone just wrote RIP stream. Hopefully it wasn't down for too long. Yeah, no, I didn't notice a drop either. It just says at the top of my thing, stream resumed, as if it dropped out or something, and then someone went RIP stream. So I have no idea what happened there. Who was your favorite superhero? Like comic book character? Green Arrow. It always has been. So then probably a tie between Flash and Green Lantern. And then Spider-Man's up there. I've always liked Spider-Man. Who would you like to see team up with Malice? I don't think we're going to see any more Malice members, if you want to call that, come join. I think we've got all of them. I think Grodd was the last edition. Sorry. I'm interested to see why Malice is like possessing that young girl, because it does seem like Malice is possessing that young girl. It's going to be in episode 10, the reason that Constantine's brought into it. Yeah. Am I going to see Black Panther even though I see every Marvel movie. Like, I like DC, but I still like Marvel. I just like DC more. I've always liked DC more. I'm not one of those person that, like, denies that the MCU is good. And, like, says that every MCU has matches. The only MCU movie I can remember from memory that I did not like that much was actually Guardians 2. The first half of that movie, people might not agree with me, that makes no sense. The first half of that movie is nonsensical. People bagged out Suicide Squad for not having structure. Suicide Squad just lost itself at the end where it just turned into a video game movie where they went from stage to stage. Guardians of the Galaxy is like a music video for that first half. It's really bad. I was sitting there going like... Because I saw it late. I saw it like... I was away, I think. I wasn't at home and I just didn't have time to see Guardians. So I saw it like 2 weeks after it came out in Australia. So I was sitting there like halfway through the movie. I was like, how the hell is this even like relatively high on Rotten Tomatoes? And I was like, surely this is like some sort of like that, you know, the cliche, Disney pays out the critics. Because I was sitting there going, this movie is crap halfway through. And then the end is okay. I didn't like the end fight scene. It was just, once again, they went for that comedy. But like the back half is fairly good. And I think it outweighs, or it doesn't outweigh, it just fixes up some of the crapness that the first half of that movie had. So it just ended up being a really average movie to me. But then people saying it's like one of the best comic book movies of the year. I'm like, it's not. It's pretty bad. Hello everyone that's still joining the stream. Reverse Flash or Deathstroke? Reverse Flash probably. Just a bit more lethal. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Shazam movie? It should be good. Not a lot of big names in the movie, which is interesting. I don't think The Rock's going to be in there. I don't think so. If they could get The Rock as like a cameo, that'd be pretty cool. And like they could leak the information, or the information will get leaked, as if Warner Brothers didn't do it. And like people might go watch the movie because they might know that The Rock's going to be in it, or even if it's just like a couple of minutes. Or even Superman, but I don't think they'll put Superman in there because I'm pretty sure Henry Cavill's got like no time left in his contract. So is it really worth wasting one of his appearances on Shazam? Probably not. And apparently that movie's not going to cost a lot to make, Shazam, because of where they're filming, the cast site. Like, it's not going to cost them a lot to get the actors and stuff. And it's a lot of child actors as well, which are once again cheaper to get. So it should be a fun movie to watch. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Shazam connoisseur. Really, the only time I've read Shazam is in the New 52, and that's only because Jeff Johns wrote it. But apparently they're basing the movie on a lot of his run in the New 52, so I'll probably know a lot because that's the only one I've actually watched of it. Read of Shazam, might I say. Be interesting if they call him Captain Marvel though. They might try and avoid that. What do you think about The Gifted show? I've only watched the first 2 episodes because it's just when there was too much to go on. There was too much to watch. Honestly, frankly, there was just too much to watch. But I think it ends this week. So, or it's already ended. It's either ending this week or it just ended. So I'll binge watch it. I'll watch the rest of it. It's only got I think I only have to watch 10 or 11 more episodes. And then I'm going to finish off The Runaways as well. Do you think Vigilante will betray Caden James and his team? I think Richard Dragon's going to stab Caden James in the head. Or something along those lines. I think Richard Dragon's definitely going to kill Caden James. I think Vigilante's more going to, I won't say betray, he's just going to go back. Because I think it's weird that Vigilante's even on Caden James' team. How the hell they even get together? But yeah. I think Vigilante will die this season. I think he'll die probably, protecting, Dinah or saving Dinah, whatever you want to call it. Have I watched Runaways? No, I've only watched the first 4 or 5. I think I've watched 4. It could be 5, but I'm pretty sure I've watched 4. So I've got to watch the rest of it. I watched it when I was going on the plane over to America. That's when I watched the first 4 episodes. Do you think Tom Welling has joined the Flash as Superman on Earth 1? Probably not. I don't think on Earth 1 there's even Krypton. I don't even think has exploded on Earth 1's plane. So I don't think we'll be seeing a Superman on Earth 1. Who was your favourite Flash? It's always been Barry Allen. That's why I was excited when they were doing the Barry Allen Flash on both the Justice League movie and this show. Because they could have done Wally West. If they wanted to. Just because he's a bit more comedic. So it works for a TV show more. How could Vigilante die though? There's probably some plot hole where they can make him die. I don't know. I know he's got the Wolverine abilities. Maybe his head gets chopped off and that doesn't work. I don't know. Oh. We're going to be streaming for another 20-30 minutes. I was only going to do about an hour stream, so yeah, 20 or 30 minutes we'll stream for. What other superhero cameos could we see in Black Lightning? Probably not many, and really the only one I'd be hoping out for would be not even a cameo, just a reference to Supergirl, Catco, Elcor, Lena Luthor, something along those lines. Or Daily Planet if they really want to reference Superman, but obviously that would be on the same Earth, so yeah. If you're going to put money on it, you'd put money on it being on Supergirl's Earth. 100%. How often will you stream like this? Not often at this time. I just thought I'd sit down and have a stream and just test out different speeds, different times of the day. This time of the day it seems very good. I'm in 720p and stuff, and it seems to be flowing very well, no buffering. But yeah, not often. I'm going to be completely honest. Ooh. You excited that John Barrowman is coming to Melbourne Supernova this year? Yeah, I heard it there. Well, I heard that he was going there. I'm excited to see what else they announce, because, when is it? It's not for another 3 months, so usually we'll get more announcements. And also, it's around the time of the year where, people would stop filming. They would have been done filming the seasons for those shows, hopefully. So there might be some more Arrowverse people going there, hopefully. Is YouTube your only job? Yeah, it is. That's why if you you super chat or even anything like that, it helps out the channel as well. Johnny Quick is getting an Arrowverse book about him. Yeah, don't worry. I saw people clickbaiting about that before. Yeah, I won't read it. It's not canon. Like, that's the thing. Like, these books aren't canon, so don't really. You can, if you read it, but don't go in there like you're thinking it's going to be canon to the thing. Like, oh, Johnny Quick now exists in the Arrowverse. These are books are separate from the thing. They're not canon. Like, all the Arrow books aren't canon. I think actually one is that they're bringing out, but I wouldn't be surprised, like, by next season, or if not the end of the season, they make it that it's not canon anymore. These books are said to be canon, but then, like, the shows will do something different, they automatically become uncanonized from the universe. Like, all those Arrow ones, as I said before, that came out earlier, aren't canon. I think there's a Flash one as well, which isn't canon anymore, because it mentions a character that I think they brought in elsewhere or something, or they mention something else. They do something that, like, sort of breaks what happened on the show. What happened to the idea that Earth 31 and Earth 1... Do you mean Earth 38? Because I don't think we even have Earth 31. I think you mean Earth 38. I think the issue with that is that they have to not only move Supergirl, they have to move everything else. And also, if you merge Earth 38 and Earth 1, that means now Superman is on Earth 1. There's always going to be these questions like, okay, well, the Flash is dealing with this thing. Why isn't Superman coming along? Creates a big headache. So I don't think we're ever going to see that. Just because they would have to move all these different characters from Supergirl over. Like, they have to move Martian Manhunter, Alex Danvers, the DEO is a thing probably. Jimmy Olsen, maybe just leave Jimmy Olsen over there, I don't know. Different things like that. And just be a bit of a headache to do. What do you think of Iris this season? Well, I think she's just being forced into situations where she doesn't meld or whatever, like, bond well, if that makes sense. Yeah, she's written pretty bad this season. They just need to get her back on that reporting storyline. That should be good. She shouldn't be leading Team Flash. It's just really weird. People try to, like, come up with all these different excuses, and they're trying to defend her. I'm like, this is a situation that it's not about, like, people liking Iris or not. It's just a stupid thing that they're doing on the show. Like, you should be trying to push it that she isn't in that role, and she goes back to the reporting thing, which is giving her own storyline, instead of being forced into other people's storylines and just sort of coming off pretty annoying. Hi everyone that's still joining the chat. What do you think about Mon-El's suit? It looks really weird. It might look better, like, in the actual episode, but it just looks like he's wearing, like, a weird top. It doesn't look, like, colourful. Like, it should be more colourful. Like, the Legion of Superheroes in the comics are the most colourful group. Like, you look at it and you go, like, I'm blinded by it. Like, look up Legion of Superheroes on, like, Google image search, and you'll see, like, you should get eventually, like, a shot of, like, all of them in, like, a group. And look how colourful the suits are. And then you look at the show and they're all, like, dark and dreary and we're emo and stuff like that. It's like, well, honestly, it couldn't be that hard to add a bit of colour. Is there an Earth X Barry? Didn't they explain that or something? I don't know. I haven't watched Freedom Fighters yet, so I don't really know. If they explain anything in there. I've heard that they do something in there. It was like an interview about it connected to it, that they explain Earth X Barry. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that question. Do you think Arrow can get to season 8 or 9? Well, it definitely gets season 7. Just depends on story-wise, like what villains can they use, whether certain characters will get drawn. Like, I think if they ever get to season 8 and 9, like, I don't think we'd have, like, Wild Dog and stuff there still. Like, they're probably going to be gone at that point. Who's my favorite Legends character? Probably Mick. I have to say Mick. I like Nate though as well. Oh, Jesus. Thanks, Tyler, for the $5 super chat. Very much appreciated. Do you think John will leave the team due to his injury, as in John Diggle? I don't know. I think he was going to leave. He would have left already. Like, he sort of already has left because he's not playing that big of a role with them. just trying to think off the top of my head if he actually would or not. I don't think so. I think it's just more that he's going to sit out. Like, he might turn into more of like a, as he was in like season 1, if that makes sense, of Arrow, where he was sort of just helping out on the side, but he wasn't fully active with Oliver, if that makes sense. I guess the fact that they have all those like diner and stuff. I know they're separated at the moment, but come on, they're not going to be separated for that long. Like, eventually they're going to all come back together. Yeah, I think Oliver's going to be on his own in the mid-season premiere and probably the episode to follow. I don't think Diggle's going to be out there with him. That's my thought though, because he's injured, so I don't think he's going to like leave the team just because it's only Oliver and Felicity with him. So I don't think he's going to leave at that point. It's just that when like the others come back, because obviously they're inevitably going to come back, that he might just like sit out and like maybe go away, but not officially leave the team. Like, he'll still check in, he just won't play that big of a role. But thanks for the super chat, Tyler. It's very much appreciated. Hopefully that's a good enough answer. I'm just on the spot, yeah. Did I see the Runaway show? No, I've only watched the first... I should know this. I think it's 4 or 5 episodes. I think it's 4, because I remember it was like... Pretty sure I watched the first 2 episodes, because like they came together, and then I watched 2 more after that. But yeah, I think I've watched the first 4, but I still got to watch the rest. But I like what I've seen so far. Apparently it finishes off really strong as well. Well, we know Roy's coming back for episode 15 of Arrow, so maybe that might be a time when Diggle's maybe taking a break. I don't know. You'd think by episode 15 they would have been back, because I don't know how they're going to stretch out that storyline where we've got those 2 separate Arrow teams, and we're going to have to follow both of their journeys, and that could be a drag. So I don't mind if they do it for 2 or 3 episodes, but hopefully by episode 15, or if not earlier, they're back together. Just because it could be a drag to watch. Because you got to track 2 separate teams of heroes, plus the villain, plus side stories. It could be a mess. What is the best season of the whole Arrowverse in your opinion? Probably season 2 of Arrow. It's just the flashbacks are so good, and then the current day is still very good as well. I think it's very hard to beat. Season 1 of Flash is good, don't get me wrong, but season 2 of Arrow, it's pretty hard to beat. Do you think Scimitar will return? I don't even know why they brought Scimitar. It was a stupidest thing. Scimitar's not even a DC Comics villain or a character. I think that was like the producers thinking, let's create a character like we created a Felicity Smoke. And, well, there you go. And before anyone says, oh, Felicity Smoke in the comics is Firestorm's stepmother, look, there's no similarities there. They created this character for the show. How come Green Arrow has kryptonite arrows? Oh, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, if not probably better. Sorry. Do you think they will do a civil war in Arrow between OG Team Arrow and New Team Arrow? Maybe a play on it. I wouldn't say they're going to do it. I think it's just more between them. It's just that they're going to be going after the same targets and always going to be getting in each other's way. I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's exactly what it's going to be. They're going to keep getting in each other's way. See you, Brock. Thanks for tuning in the stream. Will Barry create Gideon to defeat the Thinker? I don't know. Honestly, I think Gideon's just like no more. Like, I wouldn't even bother talking about Gideon anymore. I don't think we're gonna see Barry create Gideon at all. Because one thing they could have done in the crossover is when they were on the Wave Rider, Gideon could have spoken. Barry could have been like, "That voice sounds familiar. Oh, it's Gideon," and they never did that. So I think they've almost like Gideon's like forgotten by Flash writers and just the Arrowverse writers as a whole as like connected to Barry. Like, he's just a Legends thing now, or she is a Legends thing. What do you think of the Flash season 4 so far? Personally, I love it along with Legend season 3. Yeah, I think it's very strong so far. It's a very interesting thing to follow, what they're doing at the moment on Flash. Hopefully they keep it up, which I think they will. I can't see them falling off the... Because nothing's really set up where it's going to like get too confusing and they're going to trip over their own feet like they did in season 3. Like, if you like season 3 of The Flash, that's fine. I like the first half of season 3 of The Flash. The back half, though, was one big mess. It just makes no sense. And, like, you can tell that even the writers or the producers and stuff know that, because how much stuff from the end of season 3 they basically cancelled out. Like, Tracy Brand, where the hell is she? You know? Like, they set up a whole thing with her and Harry almost at the end of season 3, and it's just like, as if she never existed. They mention her, but, like, really, it's almost as if she never existed. Yeah. So... Season 3 at the end was a mess, and I don't think they'll get into any sort of territory like that with the end of Season 4, because it's a pretty clean back half. I don't think there's really any opportunity or like little things there that could potentially ruin it. Are you mad at Warner Brothers for not letting Arrow use Deathstroke anymore because of their shitty movies and a bunch of other characters? Well, shitty movies is a big thing. That's all down to personal opinion. Latest Henry, have a good day. What just matters, like, is how often is it, because Arrow, it's about Arrow, you know, it's about Green Arrow, it's not called Deathstroke. So it just really matters, like, how often would they be bringing in Deathstroke? Because honestly, they're probably going to bring him for 2 episodes a season, and is it really worth the big legal thing if DC is like, that has that, like, their eyes set on, like, okay, we want their characters separated. The thing that's annoying is more the fact that they keep teasing us by bringing in different characters, or teasing that they're going to bring them back. That's the thing that annoys me. It's like, well, make it concrete. Just say, are they not allowed on the shows, or are they allowed on the shows? Don't go back and forth. And don't make exceptions for, like, Superman going to Supergirl and stuff like that. Because if you're going to allow Superman to go to Supergirl and appear consistently there, even though he hasn't, like, he's been in 3 episodes, but even then, you got to be the same. You got to be consistent. You got to, like, with the other shows as well and other characters. Like, fair enough, I'm not saying bring Batman on the show and stuff, because Batman hasn't been established. But with Deathstroke and stuff, he was already a big part in season 1, 2, you know, 1 episode in season 3, and then other parts in other seasons. So just be consistent with it. Don't give, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, exceptions to other characters. Like, be consistent, be concrete with that thing you're setting up where we want them separated. That's the thing that more annoys me. Like, if Deathstroke doesn't come back to Arrow, I'm fine with it, because I think we got enough with him. Honestly, if season 2 was the last time we got Deathstroke, I would have been fine with it. But it's more the fact that he's teased to come back and then he does appear and stuff like that. That's the thing that annoys me most. We're going to stream for like another 10 minutes probably. 10, 12 minutes. What did you think of the Deathstroke flashbacks? I thought the first episode, I didn't like him that much. I guess they just showed that, like, he fit his family life around his job. It wasn't the other way around. That was more teasing that, and like that his son saw everything. But the second episode was really good. Like when Joe was a bit older. Is it Joe? Joe, yeah. When Joe was a bit older. That episode was good. The second episode. Do you think SJW content is ruining DC shows? Once again, it just comes down to personal opinion. Supergirl is probably the one that does it the most. And I think there's bigger issues with Supergirl than what they do with like the SJW stuff. So, like, Arrow apparently is doing a Black Lives Matter episode this season, which I think is very dangerous territory to get into. Because if you didn't know, there's not one black writer on the Arrow staff. I'm pretty sure, at least there wasn't last season. So I don't know if this season they brought on, like, they diversified their writing staff, but last season there wasn't. So that's dangerous territory to get into, Black Lives Matter episode, because God knows what they're going to do. Like, they already did the gun episode last season, which a lot of people weren't very happy with how they portrayed that. So God knows, like, Black Lives Matter, I think, is even more sensitive area to get into. So it could be bad. Hopefully they've dropped the idea, because I haven't heard of anything about it since the off season. They said they were going to do it, but I haven't heard anything since then. While with the gun episode, they mentioned it a couple of times leading it up to that actually coming out. So maybe they actually thought to themselves, maybe it's not a good idea to do this Black Lives Matter thing, because we don't know how to properly handle that. When are they going to create the Flash thing? Who knows? Once again, your guess is as good as mine. Why does no one talk about the Speed Force storm? Because the show didn't reference it. Like that's. Oh, are you talking about the show? I don't know. Like why the show isn't referencing it? I don't know. It's sort of stupid. Like why put it in there? Like that's some things I have issues with in the show is that they put stuff in there and they never come back to it. Like, especially like a big moment like that. That was like the last, wasn't what in the last like 3 minutes of the season. Pretty hard thing to forget. Are you sure that Wally is going on Legends of Tomorrow? Well, he's the most likely candidate, and I sort of put up my like sort of theory as to how he could be going over there, but I'll go over that in another video. In like the Legends Flash crossover, that's apparently meant to be happening, but if it is happening, it would make sense because it would fit in with a time where Wally could go over. And it would be a good segue, like how is Wally going to go on Legends? Like they'd have to come back to the present day for him to get over there and stuff like that. Do you think Abracadabra will come back to Flash Season 4? Probably not. Maybe in a later season. I don't think he'll come back this season. Who should play Bart Allen? I don't know, a young actor. Probably no one would have heard of him. Like who have heard of Kenan Lonsdale? I'm Australian, I never heard of Kenan Lonsdale. Some people I knew have heard of him because he was on like a dancing show in Australia. It's actually like a TV show like around like a dance academy, and he was on that. So some people knew him. I didn't know him by name, but then when I saw him, he used to be on MTV, like a video presenter. But he looked different at that stage. But I didn't know him by name, and like when I first saw him, it was more like once I did like some videos, and I was like, oh wait, I think I've seen this dude before, and I was like, oh yeah, it's on MTV. Like, that was a while ago. Was it MTV? Or Channel V? MTV, I think it was. A Twitter account based on Vancouver said Kanan didn't film Flash yesterday, but was filming. Well, they're filming indoors, how would they know? Like, that thing they can say, well, then he would have said he's filming Legends. Like, yeah. I saw that tweet, I know what you're talking about, but he didn't say he was filming Legends, he just said he wasn't filming. Like, out on thing. Or, like, with Violet Bane and stuff like that. He's probably still filming Flash. As I said, how are they going to segue him into Legends without a proper way to segue him in there? That's why I think if that episode 18 crossover is true, then it makes sense if they do it with Legends, because it'll allow Wally to get there. I just don't want, if like Wally is going to Legends, I just don't want him to appear there and go, hi guys, I'm on the wave rider now. Make it make sense. You know, make it make sense. And also, if Jesse Quick is on the show, it'd be weird if Wally's not there. I know they're not together anymore. But, you know, if Jesse's going to be on the show, you'd think Wally's going to be there as well. So I think it's just common sense, really. Do you know if Kendra and Carter will appear in Legends of Tomorrow again? I've kind of forgot what happened to them. They just left, and they're just like... they're just doing their own thing, I guess. I don't think they'll come back, just because the actress that plays Kendra is like Broadway, and she's like... The reason that she took Legends was because she wasn't doing Broadway. She thought... Because Broadway's a big commitment, you're like committing like a decent amount of time, so it's almost like a TV show is almost like doing maybe 2 shows or 2 productions. So that's why she did it, to get some like TV experience, but now she's back in Broadway, and I think she prefers to do that. So if she ever came back, it'd be like for an episode cameo, or not a cameo, but just for like 1 episode, like Constantine's coming in for. But she'll never come back permanently, and neither will Carter. Will Captain Boomerang come back? Well, I think he's dead. Like, once again, no body, no proof, but you'd have to think he's dead. Are you upset that Jesse broke up with Wally then? I honestly don't care about relationships on the show, because a lot of the time they take up time and are sort of pointless. I think Jesse and Wally was sort of forced. If you like it, that's fair enough. I can understand why you would like it, but for me, it wasn't played out that well, and it felt rushed. And once again, they didn't really spend too much time of us delving into that relationship. You could argue Olicity was even spent more time. Well, actually, that's obvious, because they spent goddamn 5-6 seasons with that. Jesus Christ. Before they even... And yeah, whatever. That's a headache to even think about that. But yeah, like, I don't really care, to be completely honest about that. Who else could go on Legends if it's not Wally? There's heaps. Like Wally makes the most sense just because he's on a contract, and it's easy to get him over there. With every other character, most likely they're gonna have to write up a contract, which would cost them more money. With Wally, it wouldn't cost them any money to swap him over to the Legends. If not, it might be a bit cheaper. Because it might be like, okay, you're with an ensemble cast, all these casts get paid the same, so we're going to have to reduce the amount of money you get paid. That might be what they have to do. So they could actually save money in that process. Well, the Flash get new... Well, I think the Team Flash is already big enough. So you don't really want any more. People already complain about Team Flash being too big, so I don't think adding any more would be the smartest idea. What do you think of Brainiac 5 and Supergirl? I think he looks terrible, but I don't know. I have to wait and see what he's actually like in the episode. He looks bad, but he could, like, the actor might be good. But based off looks, judging the book by its cover, not good. Will we have a character die in this season of The Flash? No, I think this season will be a season without death. I don't think there needs to be a death of a character, or at least like a Team Flash member. If anything, like DeVoe would die or something like that, or DeVoe's wife. I wish they made Barry like in the comics smart enough. Yeah, but that's so they have Team Flash. Like that's so Team Flash is seen as useful. I've said that a couple of times. Like they do it so, like if Barry was as smart as he was in the comics, he wouldn't need Team Flash. He might need one person there just to warn him of some stuff, but he wouldn't need that many people, you know? Apparently the Brainiac actor says his character starts looking better as things progress. Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know how that makes sense, because those, in the trailer, that's CGI done. Like, fair enough if it was like the promo photos, because sometimes it's a bit weird there, but I think he looks better in the promo photos than he does in the actual trailers. So it's almost like they made it. If that's the case, I think they made him worse. If the CGI is done in the trailer, which they usually are. But I don't know. Once again, you have to wait and see. I think Supergirl's got all those issues with the Andrew Kreisberg thing. So it's gonna be interesting to see how their back half plays out. I think their first like 3 or 4 episodes before they go on that Legends break will be fine. It's really after that when they've had to like rewrite the back half of the season and stuff like that that could be a bit dodgy. And also, there is the rumor that Rain isn't the villain. If no one's heard this, like, there's the rumor that Rain actually isn't the main villain of Supergirl. It's the Dark. I think the Legion have referenced it, which could annoy a lot of people because I think they set up what do you call it? They set it up this season, sorry, like Rain thing, and everyone wants Rain to be the villain. So if they change it, Rain either gets defeated really early or maybe turns good. It might annoy a lot of people. I have a theory about Killer Frost that might explain why she's evil and a split personality. I don't know if they're really going to dive too much into like Killer Frost, like major things this season. I think Killer Frost's story is going to be pretty straightforward. Like it'll be good to follow, but I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Do you think Cecile is pregnant with with Daniel West? Might I say? Maybe we'll have to wait and see. I wonder when she's going to give. From my calculations, like unless they'll probably rush the pregnancy because it's TV. They don't have to be exact. They might make it that he's born towards the end of the season. I prefer comic Iris. I think most people do, just because the show Iris is a bit on and off and a bit inconsistent. That's nothing against Candice Patton. That's against the writing. Candice Patton does a very good job with Iris. It's the writing that lets her down. Like she actually does a lot. She does very good with the material that she's given. Do you think the writers forgot about Malcolm Mellon? Well, no, I think it's just more that they played him off that he's dead. I think that's more what it is. Will Breacher return to the Flash season 4? Apparently he is. Apparently he's coming back and Gypsy's not going to be connected to their episode. It's just going to be Breacher and Cisco. I don't know when that is. That's something I heard. About the show. That's going to be Breacher's coming back, but it's just a Cisco and Breacher episode. Thoughts on Cisco being underused out in the field? I think it's just more the setting for the season. I think it really relies on Cisco being that involved. But we're going to wrap the stream up in a couple of minutes, guys. Probably like 3 minutes I'll give it, and then I'll wrap up the stream. As I said, this isn't like a normal time I stream. I thought I'd just jump on and just have a chat. Because usually this time I might be editing a video, but I finished off my video for tomorrow early. I'm just wondering, whereabout in Australia are you? G'day from Sydney. I'm in Brisbane. Was it weird seeing Black Lightning and Jitters? Yeah, but they reuse the shots all the time. Like, he's like his workstation it looks like Barry Allen's thing. The thing is, it's weird, is that the pilot was shot in Atlanta. Or I don't know if they shot the pilot in Vancouver and then they're shooting the rest of the show in Atlanta. Because CW shows either shoot in Vancouver or Atlanta, and some shows shoot in LA. Like, I think Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, that show, films in LA, and I think that Jane the Virgin show films in LA as well. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. I heard that they're filming in Atlanta, but some of the sets look like Flash and Arrow sets, so it's a bit weird. Is Iris going to get superpowers? I doubt it. I don't think she will. Do you prefer Mick from the Flash season 1 or Legends this season? Oh, easily Legends. 100%. That's the thing, like, Mick's probably the character that's improved the most once going to Legends. Because he's much more funny. Like, in Flash, he was, like, all serious and stuff. But in this one, he's, like, much better. He's a lot more fun. I'll answer, like, 1 or 2 more questions. Do you like Gypsy and how she's done the show? Yeah, well, I never really knew about her from the comics. She was in, like, the animated stuff, but I never really followed her from the show, the comics, to be completely honest. I haven't watched Freedom Fighters The Ray, unfortunately. Does The Flash come out Thursday? It comes out Wednesday Australian time, at Tuesday American time. I'm in South Brisbane, if you want to call it. Yeah, southeast. Do you think Elon Man should have appeared in the crossover? Maybe, but it's just hard to fit him in. Like, he would have been there just for the sake of it and then gone away, probably. And also, he's not fully tested with his abilities as well. Do you think that DeVoe will have Dom's powers? I think they sort of hint that in the trailer. You see all those people, like, passed out in the street. That's like an ability of Brainstorm, the character that Dom is. So, yeah, I think DeVoe's going to be able to do that. I'll use his powers, and it's going to be pretty overpowered and very interesting to watch. But that's it, guys. I'm going to end the stream. As I said, this is a time I usually wouldn't stream. I just thought I'd jump on and have a chat. But yeah, for those that jumped in, very much appreciated, and super chatted, very much appreciated once again for supporting the channel, just helping out. And yeah, so I will be streaming like tomorrow morning my time, so in like 10 hours, just over 10 hours from now. So if you're on then, you'll be able to tune in then. But if not then, I guess I'll catch you on another time. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.